Hi, fans of high quality entertainment. On my Canadian Studmuffin channel, I just posted this same kind of idea. It's a series I do once in a while, and it's two Paul McCartney songs, popular Paul McCartney songs, facing off against each other. And so for this channel, I thought I would do 100 classic rock songs, some of the most popular from the 70s and 80s. And I had AI, do the list and then just one against the other without knowing, what they would be until right now. And, I think it's kind of fun. And if you do enjoy this, please remember to like the video and leave a comment below on some of your choices. So I haven't even looked at this until right now. And here we go. And I probably like most of these songs. And, there are going to be times I'll choose one over the other, but that doesn't always mean I don't like the other song. Okay, Stairway to Heaven versus Every Breath You Take. That's an easy one, Stairway to Heaven. I don't mind Every Breath You Take, but I got tired of it very quickly, because it was always on the radio. Hotel California versus I Love Rock and Roll. Two very overplayed songs, but I try not focus on that because you can't blame the song for being overplayed. And I am going to go with, I'm not a fan of the Eagles, but I'm going to go with Hotel California. Imagine versus, that made me laugh, versus Sweet Child O' Mine. Imagine, of course. What's Going On versus Call Me. What's Going On? Born to Run versus Another One Bites the Dust. I like both songs a lot, but I'm going to go with Born to Run. Superstition versus You Shook Me All Night Long. Superstition. Layla versus Whip It. That's an odd pairing. I love Devo. Got to go with Layla, though. Bohemian Rhapsody versus Don't Stop Believin'. Bohemian Rhapsody by a long shot. Bridge Over Troubled Water versus Money for Nothing. Bridge Over Troubled Water. Let's Stay Together versus Jump. Jump. Let It Be versus Love Will Tear Us Apart. Let It Be. Maggie May versus I Still Haven't Found What I'm Looking For. Maggie May. American Pie versus Pour Some Sugar on Me. American Pie. Won't Get Fooled Again versus Living on a Prayer. Who in their right mind would not choose Won't Get Fooled Again? Unless you're a fan of Bon Jovi, that is. Staying Alive versus Rock the Casbah. Staying Alive. Free Bird versus Hungry Like the Wolf. I like both songs. I'm gonna go with Hungry Like the Wolf. Brown Sugar versus In the Air Tonight. Brown Sugar. Let's Get It On versus Start Me Up. Once again, Start Me Up is so overplayed and never need to hear it again, but I'm going to go with Start Me Up. Go Your Own Way versus Our Lips Are Sealed. Go Your Own Way. Papa Was a Rolling Stone versus Jesse's Girl. Papa Was a Rolling Stone. Your Song versus The Boys of Summer. Your Song. Midnight Train to Georgia. That's not really classic rock, is it? Midnight Train to Georgia versus Summer of 69. I actually love Midnight Train to Georgia, so I'll choose that one. More Than a Feeling versus Back in Black. More Than a Feeling. Just My Imagination versus Welcome to the Jungle. Just My Imagination. I Will Survive versus It's the End of the World as We Know It. I'm going to go with It's the End of the World as We Know It. Roxanne versus Love Shack. Roxanne. Dream On versus One. Now, is that they don't say if that's the U2 song or the Metallica song. But I'm going to go with Dream On for either. Anyway, Another Brick in the Wall, Part 2 versus Walk Like an Egyptian. Another Brick in the Wall, Part 2. A few more here. Okay, we're to No Woman, No Cry versus Personal Jesus. No Woman, No Cry. London Calling versus Once in a Lifetime. I love both bands. Ooh, that's got to be the closest one yet. Which would you choose? Let me know in the comment section below. Ooh, London Calling. I got to go with Once in a Lifetime. Family Affair versus The Power of Love, Family Affair. Anarchy in the UK versus I Want to Know What Love Is, Anarchy in the UK. Dancing Queen versus Everybody Wants to Rule the World. I'm going to go with Dancing Queen. We Will Rock You / We Are the Champions versus Don't You Forget About Me. I would go with We Will Rock You / We Are the Champions. Get Up, I Feel Like Being a Sex Machine. I say that a lot. Versus Let's Dance. I'd have to go with James Brown, Sex Machine. Living for the City versus Don't Dream It's Over. I got to go with Stevie Wonder, Living for the City. Sweet Home Alabama versus Need You Tonight. That's a great song by In Excess. Got to go with Sweet Home Alabama. Lola versus Under Pressure. I'm going to go with Lola. Smoke on the Water versus Shout. Tears for Fears. Easily Smoke on the Water for me. Sultans of Swing versus Dancing in the Dark. Call me silly, but I'm going with Bruce Springsteen's Dancing in the Dark. Walk This Way versus Pride in the Name of Love. Got to go with U2 for that. Well, see, I'm kind of thinking because Walk This Way I've heard just so much. But once again, I'm focusing on it being overplayed. I think I'm going to change my mind. I'm going to go with Walk This Way. Lean on Me versus Down Under. Lean on Me. Who'll Stop the Rain versus Every Rose Has Its Thorn. Got to go with CCR. Who'll Stop the Rain. Kashmir versus Rock This Town. Isn't that quite the pairing? Got to go with Kashmir. Rapper's Delight versus Walking on Sunshine. Rapper's Delight. Heart of Glass versus The Final Countdown. Got to go with Blondie and Heart of Glass. Theme from Shaft versus Burning Down the House. Burning Down the House. Me and Bobby McGee, Janis Joplin versus I Just Died in Your Arms Tonight. Got to go with Me and Bobby McGee. Fire and Rain versus Love Is the Battlefield. Got to go with James Taylor and Fire and Rain. And Baba O'Reilly versus Crazy Train. Crazy Train. I love Crazy Train. I love Ozzy. But I just got to go with The Who and Baba O'Reilly. And that is it. Wasn't that fun? Yeah, like I said, I enjoyed doing this kind of a series, comparing songs against each other, or, sometimes bands or solo artists, or just, classic rock songs. So if you do enjoy this series, please remember to leave a comment below and let me know what some of your favorites were and what you agree with or disagree with. And just remember, everybody has their own opinions on music. And that is it. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Bye.